Hey, Coach Rob here, and welcome to our intro to boxing videos. I have a set of hand wraps here. Actually, I have one of them. And first thing I did is when I took it out is I just unraveled it and threw it on the floor here, okay? First thing you need is a set of hand wraps. Now you're gonna say, or you're gonna think, oh, what do I need hand wraps for, right? I won't hurt my hand. Those are the people that hurt their hands, all right? When you're a boxer, fighter, your hands are your weapons. If you hurt your hands, you hurt your wrists, you jam your thumbs, you're not gonna be doing much boxing training. So you gotta make sure that you take care of them. When you take your hand wraps out, just unravel them. You're gonna find the thumb strap. You're gonna hook it over your thumb, and you're gonna start by going across the back of your hand. Now look, I can't make you put these things on, just like I can't make sure you go home and you brush and floss your teeth. But only floss the ones you want to keep. You know what I'm saying? Look, take care of your wrists, take care of your hands. Start this thing on your thumb, go around the back of your hand. Now, the reason is because when you make a fist, if you go the other way, your hand wrap is going to loosen up on you. So start this way. So now you're covering that wrist and you're going in the right direction. All right, so you're going to remember, do the wrist first. This is a long hand wrap. This is a 200-inch hand wrap. 180s are about normal for most adults. You can get 165s, you can even get 120s if you have small hands or for the kids. I like to have a little extra hand wrap, so I use the 200s. Sometimes I get away with the 180s. All right, so I got my wrist. Now I'm going to come up and I'm going to do the knuckles. So when you do the knuckles, you want to spread those fingers apart. You want to make sure that when you're wrapping it, your fingers are apart so that when you make your fist and your hand expands, it's not going to be too tight. So spreading the fingers makes up for that expansion of the hand when you do make a fist. Otherwise, you're going to want to chew these things off because they're going to bother you. All right? So once you get the knuckles, you can come back down around. You just keep them moving in the same direction. And now we're going to wrap the thumb. So I'm just wrapping over the top of the thumb. And then I'm going to come back around. And then I'm going to wrap the other way of the thumb. So now I've kind of locked that thumb in like that. So underneath and over the top. Now I'm going to come back around from the thumb. So I have the base of the thumb here. And I'm going to go through my farthest fingers. You can wrap here too if you have like a lot of length to your wraps. I'm just going to show you the quick way just to go through. So now I'm going to go through the middle. And then I'm going to come back around the thumb, and I'm going to go through the final two fingers. So now, when I make a fist, it's going to really lock all this together. But I got to hold that in place, so I'm going to bring this back around the knuckles. And go around these knuckles a few more times. Okay, so just try to keep them as flat as you can. Cover those knuckles. Now from here, I'm going to make an X shape. So I'm going to go down, around the wrist, and then just back up. There's my X. All right, I can do that a few times if I have a lot of wrap left. Down around, and back down. Now once you have about 1.5 foot of wrap maybe left, you can finish around your wrist. And then put your Velcro on. It should feel snug. Should feel like you can punch through a brick wall, but not too tight. If it's too tight, it starts to cut the circulation off on your hands. You're going to know right away. You're going to want to take it right off. So just try to make sure it's snug. You can pull a little of the elasticity out of the wraps. This is a semi-elastic wrap, so it has a little stretch to it. If you're using a traditional style wrap, it's not going to have as much of that stretch. But as you're putting it on, just pull a little bit of the flex out if you do have the semi-elastic ones. And if you messed up and you get to the end and your Velcro was backwards, you don't have to take the whole thing off. Just twist it and make it work. So that's how you put your hand wraps on. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it a little bit different if you want, but you do have to cover all the bases. Don't skip your thumb because most people don't think they need to wrap their thumb. But when you start sparring and you catch a thumb, you're going to wish you had that thumb wrapped. because in your gloves, your thumb sits like this and you can easily get jammed. All right, so how to put your hand wraps on. You can do it a basic way too, where you don't go through the knuckles. If you have traditional style wraps, it may not feel as comfortable to go through the knuckles or through the fingers, and that's okay too. However you want to do it, but just make sure you're at least covering the wrist, getting the hand good supported, and the thumb. All right, so there you go. It's gonna take you a little while. After a few thousand times putting your hand wraps on, I'm sure you're gonna be doing a good job at it. But that's your homework. So work on it, practice it, watch the video a few times. It's gonna help you a lot. All right, just practice putting them on, taking them off, putting them on, taking them off, and every time you come into class, you'll get a little bit better at it. So that's it. Make sure you got the hand wraps on though. Don't get lazy. You can hit a bag without hand wraps. It's just not recommended to throw hard punches without your hand wraps on, okay? Throwing light punches and working on some technique is one thing. Throwing hard hooks and stuff at a heavy bag without your hand wraps on is just stupidity. And if you scrape up your knuckles on the heavy bags, they take a long time to heal. And that's what we call a rookie mistake. So don't make a rookie mistake and hit the heavy bag without your hand wraps on and then experience that for yourself. Because once the skin gets ripped off your knuckles, it takes weeks and weeks for it to heal. Because every time you hit the bags, it's gonna rip it back open again. All right? The only times I've ever really hurt my wrists were probably the times I didn't have hand wraps on and I was throwing hooks. So learn from my mistakes, put them on, and take care of those weapons. Those are your tools, right? All right, Coach Rob signing off. We'll see you in class or see you back on our page with your hand wraps on, protecting those hands. Now you can punch through that brick wall. Hopefully it's not your sparring partner. But if you're competing, hey, that's another story. See you guys.